We have already talked about how we can bind different graphical interface properties to view models. However, there is still one question. Let me explain what it is. I'm going to create a new page as part of the project. Let's select the content page template and let's call it, for example, commands view. Let's do the corresponding thing to be able to work with this page. That is to say, let's create the corresponding view model. Let's convert the class into a public class. Let's assign the page as the initial page in the file named app.xaml.cs. And finally, in the code behind page, let's indicate that the binding context is going to be equal to a new instance of commands view model. Remember to import the namespace that is needed, and with this we can start doing some tests. For example, let's go back to the graphical interface file, and as part of the stack layout, I'm going to create a button control. We're going to put some text on it, for example, that says click me. Previously, we have worked with events that are part of the controls to create event handlers. However, if we continue to do this, we will continue to mix the application logic with the graphical interface. What we need to do is to be able to connect these events to the view model of the page to work from the view model with this logic. So I'm going to remove this event handler, go back to the XAML file, and I'm going to remove the event called click. What we can do as part of each one of the controls is to write the term command, and different commands will appear that you can create according to the type of control that you are using. Regularly, the commands that will appear are the most used events for the control. For example, we have this property that is called command, which in the case of a button will fire the click event when the button is pressed. How can we bind to the view model a command? Well, what we're going to do is to create a binding as we did with the properties, assigning a name to the command that we will be able to bind to the view model. For example, let's call it click command. This name can be any name you want. What I usually do is to give it a descriptive name that ends with the term command. I'm going to copy this command back to the view model, and we can define a command in different ways. In the view model, we'll create a property that is of type iCommand, and we'll assign it the name that we defined in the XAML file. The command will be a property similar to those we have used previously, with the difference that a command will regularly have only one get, so we can define it through an assignment in this way. Subsequently, we will create a new instance of a command, passing a lambda expression in the constructor of the command. Inside, we will execute the logic of the application. For example, I'm going to show a display alert through app.current.mainpage.displayAlert. I'm going to pass some parameters in the method such as title, message, and OK. Let's close the parentheses, and in this way we already have a command that is going to be bind directly to the graphical interface through the binding created. The command then is going to be executed when the click event of the button is fired. Once the application starts, we can see the button that says click me. Let's press it and see how it immediately displays the message created in the view model, not from the code behind of the page. This is the first way in which we can create a command. Remember that within the command definition you can place any functionality you want to perform. Another way to create a command is declaring a method. Inside, we're going to place the display alert functionality. And once we have the method, we can indicate that we want to assign the alert method through the use of the delegate. Let's start once again the execution of the application. We already see the button, let's click on it, and the application continues to work correctly. A third way in which we can create a command is through the constructor of the class. Let's create the constructor. As part of the command, I'm going to specify only a get, and in the constructor I'm going to assign click command a new instance of command. In the definition of the lambda expression, I am once again going to use the display alert code. When I start again the execution of the application, we can see the button. We click on it, and once again, we are displaying the display alert with the characteristics that we have indicated. These are 3 different ways we can use to create a command from the view model. It is up to you to decide which is the best approach to use for your applications.